Good morning. Yes, I was running late.
I am so dang excited for today. It's kind of amazing, actually. Today, I get to meet and then work with one of my favorite photographers in the entire world. It's Jan Scholz. I'm just obsessed with his work. It's so much of where I hope my work will end up. It's not that I want to be him or that I want to change my work to be his work, but it possesses the qualities that really resonate with me. Above all, just the clarity.
I'm thrilled for Ryan. He's just like giddy. It's really cute to watch. He's like, ah! And I'm so excited.
Like a little kid waiting for Santa Claus. It's really cute.
Ryan introduced me to his work probably about a year ago, and I fell in love with it immediately. It's so beautiful, so simple and sensual.
When I'm scrolling web pages or on Flickr or just anywhere and I see one of his images, they're not watermarked and I know it's his. I see it and I'm like, Jan took that.
I love just the way his subjects connect. It just seems so effortless, but I know personally how hard it is for the images to come out like that. So I'm excited to watch him work and see what it is that he does to create that magic.
And the other thing that I'm loving, I get to style for Jan today.
I'm excited to see how he works because most of the time, artists you admire the final product. And that's what you see, and it's amazing, and you try and disseminate what you can from that. But to get the chance to watch someone you admire that much create those images is going to be really special for me.
I've actually brought some of Jan's images into our boudoir workshop environment to show what beautiful, simple, I call it fine art. I wouldn't consider Jan a boudoir photographer, but just that fine art, about the body and the shape, and it's just so soft and beautiful.
I hope he's not taller than I expect. I'm picturing like 5'8", 5'9".
If you look at his work, it just makes you feel peaceful and relaxed and like slowing down and taking deep breaths. That's how his work makes me feel. It's just, there just isn't any hype, there isn't anything overdone at all.
Hopefully he doesn't think we're total freaks, and hopefully he'll want to stick around for another episode after this one. We don't scare him off too bad.
I'm a little dressed up today. I wore my formal wear to try and impress him. Hopefully our craziness won't throw him off his game too much.
And actually, we kind of T and I toned down our looks today just so that we don't scare him off.
I'm sorry we're crazy, Jan. Please don't hold it against us. All right, we're here at the lovely Azure Salon in downtown Boise. Jan's on his way. He's close. I can feel it.
Are you nervous, Ryan?
I'm not nervous. I'm just
You
so
are
excited.
too.
I've loved his work for so long, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him about it.
Yeah.
We're excited for you.
Yeah.
You guys excited to hang out in this lovely location?
God, this salon is so cool. Like, it makes me drool because I really want to shoot here. So.
Yeah, it makes
They
me
already-
feel like sprouting wings. It's
Yeah.
just white and like almost we're in the sky or something.
They already spoofed up my hair a little
Nice.
bit. Todd
Did a
made me
great
look
job.
pretty.
Todd, speaking of Todd,
Yeah.
Where is Todd?
Were you out?
come here, Todd.
Come here, Todd. And Todd was so gracious to let us be there. Just a wonderful man himself and very talented. And we just felt right at home there.
This is Todd. He is the proprietor of this lovely establishment.
And my girlfriend Desiree.
Oh,
his
Desiree.
Desiree. Todd, thank you for having us
Thank
here.
you
Yeah.
so much.
Nice to have a bunch of
How,
movie star looking beautiful people hanging out here.
how long have you guys had the salon open?
Since July of 2011.
Oh, fantastic.
Well,
It's really beautiful.
you guys have done a really nice job. It's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thanks for being here.
You excited to get some beautiful images using your space?
Oh, yes.
Well, we're excited to be here.
Mucho gracias.
Oh, ditto.
All right, thanks for having us.
Thank
here.
you.
All right.
Hey! Jan,
Right.
So nice to meet you. Thanks so much for coming.
Pleasure to be here.
Oh, it is such an honor to meet you. I'm looking forward to working with you today.
Yes, me as well.
All right.
Really
Well,
excited.
can we take your bag? Let's go have a chat.
Sure, yeah.
Great. Oh, it's Jan, thank you so much again for coming to hang out with us.
I'm very happy to be here.
This is so cool for me to get to have a conversation with someone whose work I admire so much. The way I found your work was by searching for inspiration sources for mine. And what I love so much about your work is that you're amazing at all the things that I love doing. Shooting film, shooting models, shooting natural light, shooting multiple formats of film. So it's just so spectacular to get this chance to talk to you.
So I'm like, this guy cannot know me, because it was actually me that found him and was like amazed by his pictures. It's quite funny that you say that, because I knew you and your work before we ever were in contact. At some point you wrote something on my profile that that you really admired my work, and I was like, it must be a joke, because I didn't even know you know my work, so it was quite funny too. So and then we got into contact and talked, and I was quite amazed that somebody like Ryan, who's like a great photographer, is finding my photography nice and amazing. So that's quite something.
We're about to start our first shot. Tia's done some magnificent styling on Ashley here. Tia, tell me about the styling choices.
Well, Jan and I spoke earlier, and he said to me that he would like something a little classic. Not so modern or super clean, but a little more classic. So this is what I did, and just kind of showed him a couple of times, and he said it's looking good. So that's what we did. Today he wanted to go a little bit more classic, like towards the 40s and 50s. Some of the wardrobe that I brought was from the 40s, and so he chose a dress and said go ahead and just sort of go for it in a soft way, do a little bit of 40s, so a little bit of that classic hair and little red lips, and the model reflected that so beautifully. It was really, really beautiful, I have to say. Really beautiful and dramatic in a simple, sweet kind of way.
In here everything's white. We will have lots of light coming through the window, so you have a very bright, high-key kind of image. If we would then have additionally a white dress or something, probably just vanish and I want some contrast. And also this is more a modern place, so I think also the lines, the black lines of the dress will look nicely against this white background.
We using the sunlight while we still have it?
Exactly, and the sun's moving this direction, so it'll be gone probably in half an hour or so.
So we're wasting time.
Yes, exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, you don't do any photography for money, right? It's purely a passion.
Yes, after school I went to the military. And became an air traffic controller with the Air Force. And at some point I got the offer to move over to a European organization dealing with air traffic control and safety and so forth. And I moved over there 6 years ago, and that's what I do since.
How did photography find you?
Difficult to say. I was always interested. I remember during university there was a Lindbergh exhibition, and that was like 15, 20, Peter Lindbergh, 20 years ago or something. And I just went there with my girlfriend back then, and I really enjoyed it. But I never made me like pick up a camera. That happened lots later. But there was always like a little bit of interest in photography, and I enjoyed looking at images and galleries and these kind of things. But yeah, it was really when I picked up the digital SLR, when it became affordable, and I just started shooting around for fun. And suddenly there became positive feedback, and we uploaded the images on photo sites. Became positive feedback, and then I thought, maybe there's more into that. And then at some point started portraits, and I got hooked quite quickly then.
Well, what cameras did you bring for us to shoot today?
I have a Nikon FM3A, 35mm, like I mentioned earlier. This is like my bread and butter camera. You know, it's very small. You have it. You just waste film more or less with it. Look for some good scenes. Then I have a Plauwel Makina 6x7. It's a 6x7 medium format rangefinder, which I just acquired a couple of weeks ago. But I fell in love with it from the first moment. Yes, and I have a Polaroid 180. So I'll probably do some Fuji FP100C as well. We'll see.
Do you have a favorite format or a favorite camera?
It changes all the time. Like I said, now it's the 6x7. Tomorrow it can be a 4x5, and next week it's a 35mm Leica. So it depends on kind of look I'm after, and that changes all the time.
I am so excited to watch your work, to have the opportunity to have some small insight into your process. So thank you again.
I'll be quite intimidating if somebody like you watches over my shoulder, because I don't know what I can teach you, but I'm excited as well.
Tell me about your decision of what film and what camera to capture this image with. What influenced that?
It was more or less, do I use 100 speed or 400 speed? So I went around with my light meter just a couple of minutes ago and just checked where we are, and we're way above everything that I can shoot 100. So I would shoot Acros 100 for black and white. And I would shoot 400H exposed around 100 for some color work.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's give you two some space and see what happens. Well, that sounded creepy.
Different shots, you can move it and arrange it differently. So if in the next shot you turn your face a little bit, or you put your arms a bit down. So and it also looks a bit sad. So like a little bit like a drama, you know, like a dramatic movie, and it's sad and romantic a little bit. But I'm sorry.
Okay.
Maybe you should take the hands down. Yeah, and just lean against. So a bit. So yeah, you can do it. Yes. Maybe you should take the hands a bit low. Or something like you're like insecure. You're playing with your hands. Something. Yes. Yeah. Beautiful. Like that. Nice. Now with your hand. No. Like this. Yeah.
What a great day. Today I got to meet one of my artistic heroes. What a huge blessing. I mean, that's awesome. How many people get to do that? So I'm really feeling a lot of sincere gratitude. I mean, it's like, how did this happen? I ended up doing the show. They were like, who do you want to meet? I was like, Jan Scholz. That was my first answer. And I spent today with him. So, I don't know. I feel really lucky and grateful right now.
Yes, today I actually got to meet Ryan, Tanya, and Tia, and it was a very interesting experience.
I want to hear a little bit more about your story. Like, how did you come to be shooting film in an age where, you know, probably less than 1% of the photographers out there ever even try film? How did you find it?
I started digitally like 5-6 years ago, and I thought that's why I started, because you could get a cheap SLR and use it and learn immediately. And with film, it was always, you know, you did it, you brought it to the lab, and then a week later you got the results, and you had no clue, you know, what was my mistake, what can I do better? With digital, that was very easy, and that's when I really started to pick up photography. At some point, there was a site with lots of Russian photographers, East European photographers, and they were sharing their images, and they were so beautiful, and I was like, wow, they're so beautiful. And at some point I noticed below they said like, you know, Pentax 6.7 and Portra or other films, and that's like, whoa, this film. And I didn't even realize that. And at some point I had still an old SLR, just bought a some black and white film and took it with on a travel, took some pictures, and I really liked it. And so I started taking the film camera to my normal digital shoots, and at some point I dumped digital altogether and went film.
I had all these preconceptions of how is this going to work for him? Is the model going to be right? Is he going to like this wardrobe? His work seems to have more shadow than this, you know, did we not pick a good location for him? And then just to get to watch someone that talented just go to work and make beautiful images.
Just to watch Jan directing, you can tell when you look at his images anyhow that the atmosphere when he's working is probably just really, just like him, cool, calm, and collected like a summer breeze, and that's exactly the way it was.
I can see now, like him inside his photographs. I really saw the sensuality and the quietness and just that soft beauty.
Coming here, I was not really sure what to expect, because normally when I shoot, it's like me and the model is very quiet, it's very confined, and there's nobody interrupting.
Since I've spent a lot of time on the show thinking about how much I admire Tanya's directing style, to watch someone else who gets amazing images direct in a totally different way. And it's not a better or worse, it's just different. And that helped me a lot, because it was like, right, you can do things your own way, you know? You don't need to spend time trying to be somebody else, and that's a lesson sometimes we have to teach ourselves almost every day.
You're definitely going to get, you know, the most beautiful images when somebody is just putty in your hands, and that's the kind of environment that he creates.
It was really fun to see Jan work with like so many cameras at one time and like move from one to the next really quickly.
Yeah, it was great actually, because it was a different experience. Lots of people around, cameras, and you were trying to shoot sort of around the cameras. But actually, everybody was very nice, very supportive. There was no pressure at all. So, and once you start shooting, actually, you forget anything, what's around you anyway. So it was a great experience.
For me, one of the things I like most about shooting film is, I mean, of course, the look. Everybody that shoots film loves the look. But honestly, for me, it's as much the process as it is the look. It's the way it makes me work, that I unplug from all the technology, that I prefer cameras that have almost no adjustable settings. How do you feel like about that?
Exactly the same. I mean, I just recently got a Nikon FM3A, which is like a very small, quite modern film SLR.
Right.
But it has all it has is more or less the aperture, the shutter time, and that's it. And that's, if they would build probably a digital SLR that's that simple and that small, I'd probably get one just for travels and for, you know, snapshots kind of things. But you know, when you get a digital SLR, you have like a monster like this with 100 menus and everything. Yeah. And I really enjoy this part of it. I really enjoy using these old cameras, just like a couple of dials, and you know, you manually turn things. So I really enjoy the part. Lots of other things that I enjoy about using film.
Jan, that is so interesting to get to watch you shoot. Obviously, when you would be working normally, you wouldn't have all these 30 people watching you work. Do you feel like it affected you in any way of how you work?
When I'm actually having a scene and I'm working on a scene, it doesn't. I'm just completely looking, you know, what's pretty, what's not pretty. But basically, from the whole concept of the shoot, of course, yes. You know, then you just would probably, I don't know, try more things, and you know, just like move everything there and try things. But yeah, but when I'm shooting, when I have a scene, when I have a location, and we have a pose and everything, then no, I'm completely on the image.
I noticed in directing Ashley, you were really soft-spoken, very quiet, small moves. Has that always been your directing style, or did that evolve with the type of images you were trying to create?
I think my directing style has evolved, but it has always been a very quiet style. But I mean, at the beginning, I just told her more or less like the scenario. And then we're moving in this scenario, and all I'm doing is just like doing very little minor changes to the pose and then the expression, where I think, you know, it flows better in the image.
say, I think Jan must be getting, who knows? I'm going to ask him. I am, because I think he must think we're nuts.
I hate to think what Jan must be thinking about us, because he probably just thought, thinks he stepped into the Twilight Zone or something.
Yeah, and they actually asked me if I would like to join them in the framed house for the next couple of days. And this is going to be exciting, but it's going to be probably quite some laughs and probably lots of interesting experiences for me. But I'm really looking forward to just spending some time with these crazy people.
Today was just the end of the first day I get to spend with Jan. He's sticking around for a couple more shoots.
Americans are a bit different than Europeans sometimes, but they are like the Americans to the power of 5.
I mean, he was a great sport about it, but I kind of wonder if we overwhelmed him.
They're great guys. It was great fun. I have like pain back here because I have to laugh all day.
I just kind of wonder how he took it. But he was such a good sport, and he was so fun to hang out with.
I knew what to expect. I thought that I knew what to expect. And they're even better in real life. They were wearing the craziest outfits, and but funny enough, on them they look just natural. Somehow that fits very well. Actually, I'm quite amazed. They're on the outside so crazy and it's hilarious. And I really have to say I'm laughing probably more in a day than I normally do in a week here. Behind that or part of that sort of, they're just like amazing artists, and I always see that shining through here and there. And even when we're shooting and they're taking a picture, it's so inspiring for me to see how they work and when they direct a model. It's because I don't know how other photographers work. I only know my own way of working. It's an amazing experience to be around them, and I feel very comfortable from the first moment I met them. I'm looking forward to what's going to come.
All right, we just finished up our shoot with Jan Scholz. What a huge disappointment. Not what I was expecting. Just kidding. It was fantastic, of course. We've got some Polaroids. We're gonna pull them right now. Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Magic.
Whoa.
Nice. Beautiful.
We got some shot of Jan shooting, and then the shot he was taking.
Oh, I love that.
Gorgeous.
All right.
Gorgeous.
It worked out right.
T, how was it for you guys?
Oh, I dug it. You know why I have to, kudos. One of the reasons why I love your work so much is because I love simple. I mean, it's fun to do all that stylized stuff too, but I really do love simple, the way you just keep everything so like that. It makes me feel good. Thanks, Jan.
Yeah. Tanya, how was it
Well,
for you?
I loved, T and I were actually talking this morning, and I said, I bet you, because when you look at your photographs, everything seems so quiet and soft and peaceful and sensual. And I said, I bet you Jan is like a really quiet guy, and like when he's working with models and blah, blah, blah. And that sort of reflected in your work, and it was awesome. I loved it. Yeah.
It was a good confirmation too, though, that we heard that he gives them a scenario, that
Yeah.
he does give them something. He feeds them something to work off of, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, I love watching you.
Inside was a nice location. I like that we had the sunshine inside, but I'm really happy we went outside because that's really a killer location, and the light is awesome out there. The model was perfect from shot number one. Everything was spot on. It was really nice. That makes it easy.
How did you like working with Jan?
Oh, I loved it. He's incredible, and it was just a very comfortable and wonderful shoot, and I loved it.
This just makes me feel like we need to do a happy dance.
Oh, most definitely.
Do you agree? Like happy dance, Ryan? Happy dance?
I really don't.
Happy dance?
Jan dance.
No.
Melissa, will you please cue some music so we can do a happy dance?
I'm ready. I'm already geared. I have music in my head.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Jan sandwich. Jan sandwich. Jan sandwich. More. Bigger. Come on. Let's go. Okay.
All film was provided by Fujifilm, and a special thanks to Richard Photolab for processing all images in this episode. Like the music? Special thanks to Triple Scoop Music. Frame Network giveaways are brought to you by B&H. Head to giveaways.framenetwork.com for your chance to win. Find out more about the equipment used in this episode on framenetwork.com.